Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-Unlimited. FAI ratifies world altitude record in electric paramotor. California's ban on leaded AvGas signed into law. Green hydrogen balloon takes flight. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm your host, Holland Lee. Let's get into today's stories. FAI ratifies world altitude record in electric paramotor. Nathan Finneman has been flying since childhood, including hang gliders for a time. But when he found paramotors in 2010, he's been flying them over the world and in air shows. He also represented the USA in the World Air Sports Federation's World Paramotor Slalom Championships. Finneman was at the Lake County Airport in Leadville, Colorado, to launch on his record-setting flight. KLXV is the highest public-use airport in North America at 9,934 feet MSL. The record actually took 2 attempts due to some issues such as turbulence he experienced on the first flight that brought him back down for a battery recharge before reaching his target altitude. On the second attempt, he made it to 14,790 feet MSL, the official world record altitude for a one-person foot-launched electric paramotor. With Finneman's included, there are now 6 official electric paramotor records that are FAI ratified. Finneman loves flying airplanes, but he always yearns to fly the paramotor. When asked about his reaction to the FAI ratification of his record, he said, quote, "This is very exciting for us, the first world altitude record for an electric paramotor. It was also a proud moment seeing the American flag go up for an official world record." End quote. After the break, massive trial looms in dispute with insurers over aircraft stuck in Russia.
The legendary BD4C program is building an exciting future for those who want a rugged 4-seat family flyer with a proven history. The SureWings program produces a complete kit and builder assist program that gives you everything you need to be flying a BD4CS in record time. For conventional kit builders, BD Aviation has parts, partial kits, and full kits for the 190-mile-per-hour BD4C that has logged thousands of hours. Visit SureWings.com and BDAviation.com for more details.
Well, hello, fellow pilot. I'm John Kay.
And I'm Martha King.
You know, we've all had our flying lives disrupted lately.
Well, King Schools is here to help you stay up to date with courses that you can access on your desktop, iPad, or iPhone. If you'd like a refresher or just want to expand your aviation horizons, we have a course for you.
So head over to kingschools.com/Rusty today for details.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. Massive trial looms in dispute with insurers over aircraft stuck in Russia. One of the most costly and complex cases to ever be heard by Britain's High Court will begin as owners of hundreds of aircraft stuck in Russia try to get payouts from their insurance companies. One litigant refers to it as a mega trial over claims insurers such as AIG, Chubb, and Lloyd's of London have refused to cover for the owners of jets that have been stuck in Russia since the invasion of Ukraine. Owners of the aircraft seek a combined total of about $3 billion from the insurers. Elixir lands contract for 5 aircraft for European training providers. Elixir Aircraft announced it has entered into a 3-way deal with training center Leading Edge Aviation and Green Aero-Lease, a French aircraft rental company. The deal provides for Green Aero-Lease to purchase 5 Elixir aircraft and in turn rent them to Leading Edge in an arrangement that includes the aircraft, insurance, and maintenance. The order brings the French manufacturer's order book to more than 300 aircraft, including orders, pre-orders, and letters of intent. F-16 cut off during Russian intercept. An Air Force F-16 conducting a routine intercept of a Russian Tu-95 off the coast of Alaska and within the Alaska ATIS was cut off closely by an Su-35 fighter. Video and still images show the dramatic incident in what the Air Force called an unsafe encounter, and that the Russian aviator's actions were, quote, unprofessional and endangered all. The pilot of the F-16 had a video camera mounted inside the aircraft, and he can be heard making a sound of surprise and took evasive action to avoid a collision. Airlines suspend flights to Israel amid missile threats. The European Union Aviation Safety Agency has advised all European commercial airlines to avoid the airspace over Israel and Lebanon. The airlines have responded by grounding dozens of flights, leaving thousands of travelers stranded abroad and thousands unable to leave Israel. The advisories are expected to remain in effect until at least the end of October. That's it for today's Trip Around the Patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. California's ban on leaded AvGas signed into law. California has a new law, a bill that prohibits the sale, distribution, or making available leaded AvGas beginning on January 1, 2031. Brought by State Senator Caroline Menjivar, it originally had a much shorter timeline but was still opposed by some environmental groups. To no one's surprise, the most strenuous objections came from aviation groups and businesses. Senator Menjivar said, quote, "When I ran for office, one of my main promises to my community was to fight for cleaner air, to hold accountable the polluters who disregard the impacts of their actions in predominantly communities of color, and to push for policy that decreases the amount of pollution statewide." End quote. However, most of us are aware that unleaded AvGas was only approved for some piston-engine aircraft in 2022, but the sheer number of such airplanes make it a practical impossibility to complete adequate testing for all engine makes and models by 2031, not to mention the lack of consistent availability. Gerald Adler, an aviation manufacturing consultant, said, quote, "She's thinking with her heart and not her brain. Unleaded fuel was approved for piston engine planes in 2022, but the problem is that a lot of engines are not rated for unleaded fuels. Could they run on it? Yes, but the problem comes with testing. Not all have been tested with it properly and still need leaded AvGas." End quote. After these messages, green hydrogen balloon takes flight.
Looking for a new generation of proven and efficient aviation power plants that boast modern engineering, electronic ignition, and both direct and gear drive systems? With 100 horsepower to 240 horsepower, the Skyline and Redline engines offer uncommon value in an overpriced industry. Whether you are looking for fixed wing or rotor, MW Fly Americas has been established to service the American market with dedication and expertise. MWFlyAmericas.com.
For over 30 years, the massive Sport Plane Resource Guide has provided expert, credible information, evaluations, and critical analysis of all that the sport aviation world has to offer. The all-new digital Sport Plane Resource Guide is coming with extensive multimedia features that are constantly updated, an even more comprehensive online guide to all things sport aviation. Available soon. www.sportplane.com.
There's a lot of places I get to at the end of the runway or in turnarounds that I need an engine running. So for me, it's very important to have a product that I'm absolutely confident with. I am very confident with the Trailblazer propeller. And when I'm flying air shows, I know that propeller's gonna be right for me.
Welcome back. Green hydrogen balloon takes flight. A unique gas balloon took off from the region of Gruyère, Switzerland. In a green approach towards energy production, the hydrogen used in the flight was produced purely by water using solar energy. The flight was piloted by Laurent Sciboz and Nicolas Tièche, winners of the 2019 FAI Long Distance Gas Balloon World Championships. Sciboz said, quote, "This flight could pave the way for future net zero flights across Europe. It represents a step forward in sustainable aviation and energy production. Traditional gas balloons usually use energy from non-renewable resources. This green hydrogen approach offers a more sustainable alternative to decarbonize a substantial part of balloon activities, including hot air ballooning in the coming years." End quote. The green hydrogen was produced in a collaboration between Gruyère Hydrogen Power and the Swiss startup GRZ Technologies. The duo used solar panels to capture sunlight, which split water molecules through a process called electrolysis. This generated the hydrogen gas needed to inflate and power the balloon. The balloon took off from the same GHP site that houses the green hydrogen production plant. The company employs two ME450 PEM electrolysis systems to generate the gas, with a system efficiency of 74% and the ability to produce and store up to 900 kilograms per day. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne, and don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.